We did it! We finally made it to Shadow of the Erdtree. Feels like it took forever. I know. So far it is not disappointed. I am just exploring and exploring and exploring. But that's not what this video is about. What this video about is how does it run on deck? 24 hours in, you're probably wondering, if you haven't tried it yet, is it gonna run well on my deck? Because I'm really worried to boot it up and have it run like shit. So, short video, just show you how it works. I'm gonna show you my settings. I've fiddled with them a little, and please feel free to put what you are using in the comments as well if you're getting something better. So let's go right into my Steam Deck here, and there it is. There she blows. There is Elden Ring. So we'll play, and we'll get this thing booted up. You know, spoiler alert, it runs just fine, thank you very much, but not amazingly. And I would say, compared to the base game, it runs just a little bit worse, I would say. So the frame rates, as you can see, are pretty inconsistent. I would just say overall, it's probably running, I don't know, maybe like on average 5 to 7 FPS less. And you could see when I was just fighting those dudes that I was getting some frame drops. A lot of frame drops, and then frame spikes. It's like it doesn't know where it wants to be. So you can see right now, just if we go into our basic settings, I don't really have it capped normally. It's capped here at 60 by default because I'm plugged into HDMI. But when I'm not plugged into HDMI, I don't have it capped currently. I've capped it at 45, 50. It doesn't really matter. It's rarely gonna run over 45 frames per second, and it will only really run at 45 frames per second or more if you're in an area with literally nothing else going on. The landscapes in this game, as you know if you've played it, I mean, look at this, they're just so sweeping, the draw distances, all of this stuff going on, and it's just a lot to handle. So I originally tried, and you can just see here, we're not doing anything, we're just looking out, and we're getting 41 frames per second. We look this way, yeah, okay, this way, try some motion, you know, it will spike up. So you're probably, honestly, with the settings that I'm using, I don't mind frame dips all that much, to be honest with you. It doesn't bother me quite as much. But if it bothers you as it bothers most people, you're probably going to want to lock this at 30 frames per second. You probably know how to do that, just in case you don't. I would turn on per game profile. I always like to use that. And then set this frame limit FPS down to 30 frames per second. That's the only thing that's going to give you a consistent performance, because it will drop below 30 sometimes even, but rarely, with the settings that I am using. And let me show you those settings. So we'll go over here and, you know, running at 720p, obviously. Don't you dare turn ray tracing on. Custom quality settings, so in advanced here, this is what I have going on. I've got textures, anti-aliasing, and SSAO high, and depth of field high. I mean, honestly, you could probably turn that a little bit lower, but it's not gonna make too much of a difference. I've fiddled with some of these and haven't seen much of a difference, so I would keep these on the higher end in some cases, especially the textures. Once you start turning the textures down, you'll see everything starts looking a little bit meh, schmeh, you know? That's a big one for me. That's a big one, I think, for a lot of people. So just to go back to this, texture quality on high, anti-aliasing high, SSAO high, depth of field medium, motion blur off, shadow quality low, lighting medium, effects medium, volumetric medium, reflection low, water surface low, shader medium, global illumination medium, grass medium. I have tried to get more FPS out of this by using all low settings, and it has not made a difference, and there is a major decrease in graphical fidelity. So I would not really screw with that. I rarely use the built-in upscaling in FSR here and such, because I have never really found that it makes a difference for me personally. But again, your results may vary here. But what I would say is, you know, a lot of us on Steam Deck, we run our games on low and it looks fine. This game looks very, very bad on low graphics settings. So I think multitasking and doing a video and going up against this dude is like the worst idea. He is tough. And am I gonna die? Okay. So anyway, I mean, you know, apart from that, I haven't gotten far enough in the game to obviously make any sort of review, and that's not what this is for. But that being said, I'm having so much fun with this game. The verticality of the exploration, it feels fresh and new. And yeah, this is just a fantastic game. You're gonna love it if you haven't played it, but let's be honest here, and I'm dead, you have probably played it. But let me know what your settings are for this below. This is what I'm getting on Shadow of the Erdtree. I'd love to start a conversation in the comments to see if anybody can squeak out a few more FPS. This is just what I've been able to do. Okay, have an awesome day, and don't forget to have fun.